Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Modern Day Caveman here again. Yo, I got my cuz, man. This is my cuz. This is the girl responsible right here for everything that I got going on right now. So, first of all, before I get started, I just want to say thank you, cuz. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get that out the way, right? So, why don't you introduce yourselves? Tell them who you are.
All right. Well, I'm Tara Jefferson. This is my husband's cousin, as I said on Twitter. When I saw that he was out, he was home, and I saw that he had started his YouTube channel. I saw the Walmart clip in the cereal aisle, and I said, "Oh, this is gonna go viral. Like, if I can help it, I want this to go viral." So I got the little clip and shared it, and boom, here we are, like 2 million views on Twitter later. So
wow,
yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm TJ Thomas Jefferson. I'm the husband. She always says the husband, but not give me a name. But but this is my cousin, Modern Day Caveman. So happy to be here. Happy to chat with them for a little bit. Happy to see you. Happy that you're home.
I'm glad to be home. I promise you. It's a journey. So today, you know, this is going to be different. It's like a different setup or a different form for what I normally have, because today I experienced my first culture shock, right? My culture shock was my uncle called me and he was like, "Hey man, check this out." He said, "I'm gonna talk to you for real. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, man. Stop wearing white beaters in your videos." I was like, "What?" and he was like, "Yeah, man, you know, you out of prison now. You know, that's a prison thing, man." And I was like, "What?" Like, I'm in my room. You know, like, I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he was talking about the image that it portrays, and I don't know how, if I kind of felt some kind of way about it at first, you know, but then he ran it down to me about how you don't see people out in public in wife beaters, you know, and the perception that the police have, that law enforcement has about wife beaters. So my question is to both of you, like, which one? Let's ladies first. Ladies first, right? Ladies first. So my question is, how do you feel about guys wearing wife beaters?
Yeah, so, you know, for me, I know my husband, he doesn't typically wear them, but I would say that there is like a stereotype of, you know, guys who wear wife beaters or tank tops or undershirts, whatever you want to call them. There's that stereotype, you know, of it's a guy who, I guess, you know, as your uncle was saying, you know, somebody who just came back from prison, or somebody who is maybe, possibly up to no good. For me, you know, I just think comfort. Like, it's a dude in his house or chilling, or maybe he took off whatever shirt was on top of the tank top, the undershirt. And so I think it's a good conversation, though, about how people perceive you and how people can look at you and create some type of image in their head about who they think you are and who they think, you know, how they think you'll behave based on how you look.
Right. What about you?
Yeah, so for me, like as Tara mentioned, like wife beaters, like I really don't wear wife beaters. I think I have like maybe one, and that's just more of a personal choice. But I really have never thought about the stereotype as far as if you wear a wife beater, then you're this or that. Because like I know some of my friends, especially like going through college, and they probably still wear them now. Like we'll wear wife beaters and everything else, and like they haven't been to prison, they haven't done any of those different things, but again, like, it's just more for more comfort and different things like that. I think, like Tara was mentioning, I think whether it be like wife beaters, but I think it's also thinking about just different perceptions and stereotypes that people have, whether it's with the wife beater. Natural hair is more common now, but even when guys used to wear like cornrows and different things like that, so like there's a lot of different things like that people have perceptions about, whether it's about if they've been in prison or if they're in a gang or if they're this or that or whatever else. So I think it falls into like a bigger pot of other stereotypes that people may have about what they think versus what they know.
Right. So I was kind of messed up about it, you know, like, because I'm not really trying to put off an image. That's the first thing. It's like I'm not trying to I wasn't concerned about my image.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was concerned more about the content. You know, like what the content of my videos, not what I look like. But you know, as I think back on it, people watching and looking at what I'm wearing. Like the one day I wore the championship, the undisputed champion, Ohio State champion. Yeah, the Ohio State championship. Just IO, just so you know, right? So just keeping it 100. So you know, people recognize it. Say, hey, I got that same shirt, you know, and I wore it. A friend of mine gave me a shirt that she went to Naples, you know, and I had that shirt on, and she was like, hey, I see you wearing the shirt, and some other guy was like, yeah, I went down to Naples, that was a good spot. So, you know, I realized that people are paying attention to what I'm wearing, but I was more focused on what I was saying. I wanted them to be more focused on the content. But like I said, my uncle, you know, is former law enforcement, and he was like, listen, man, you know, when we roll up on somebody and they wearing a wife beater and they in the hood, we like, oh yeah, you know, he's doing this and this and that. And like I said, you know, and he was like, you're portraying a negative image. You know, it's just the image that you want to portray. And I didn't really know how to, you know, I was kind of offended, but I was like, I understand. I didn't know how to take it, you know, so.
I think people pay attention to what you wear. People pay attention to what your shoes look like. Like they'll pay attention to
beard,
your beard, your hair. Like they're pitching to like all of those different physical characteristics. Like they'll make a decision on you even before they even say 2 words or 2 sentences to you. Like they already have a perception in your mind as far as what you're going to be like or what you're doing. Like they're already telling their own story about yourself. I mean, when I say yourself, not you, but just anybody.
So for camera purposes, we have to speak up a little bit. You got to use your outside voice. You know what I'm saying? I know you're soft spoken, man, but you got to use your outside voice. All right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, and I think what I said earlier about it being a good conversation, like for me, like I love to wear my head wraps and everything, and I have a ton of these in all different colors. And some people, you know, if you have your hair wrapped up, or if you have, you know, hair jewelry or any other thing, any other type of scarves, like people have a certain stereotype or a certain, you know, way that they look at you or approach you versus if I had, you know, straight, relaxed hair.
Right.
That's different. Like the way I noticed that people approach me is slightly different, especially if I have my hoops in and things like that. And I think that what your uncle was probably saying was probably about that like impression management, like trying to manage how people interact with you, particularly because, you know, you just got home and he's trying to make sure that people, that you maybe have a smoother time on re-entry. And I think, you know, he had good intentions, but I also think it's sad, you know, like that we have to really manage how people look at us down to the itty bitty, you know, the idea of, okay, I got to think about what shirt I put on and what, you know, do I have on too much jewelry? Do I have on this? Do I, you know, thinking about all of these things when, like you said earlier, about your content and like your message and your delivery and your vision and your intention for these videos and helping people. And I think that should shine through more. I know that people do pay attention to what you wear and everything, but again, like your soul and your message shines through, I think. So.
I mean, I just think it's, like I said, it was a culture shock. Like, I'm still processing it. Like, I got a wife beater on now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to open my shirt up. And, you know, I'm like, dude, I got a dress shirt on now. I'm like, hey, should I button it up? You know, am my buttons too low? Like, am I showing too much chest there or whatever? You know, but I mean, like, I understand, though. I get it. But, and see, that's one of the things that I think that I got a fresh perspective on things because I'm not conditioned like everybody else by society. I don't fall underneath the societal norms as far as what's expected as far as dress and mannerisms and stuff like that. I just try to be genuine, you know. And if I'm honest and if I'm real and true to me, then hey, you know, there was a comment that, you know, when we was going through the George Floyd thing, and somebody said that the platform wasn't right for, like when LeBron was speaking out, saying that their platform was not right for them to be talking about that, and he said that, look, if you accept me, you got to accept all of me.
Right.
Right? You got to take all of me, like my beliefs, my opinions. Like if you know, if you're a fan of mine, then you're a fan of me and all that encompasses me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I looked at it. It was like, you know, I thought I was talking to family. That's why, you know, I'm with my family. Like my mom is the one that bought me the shirts.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I came out of prison with them. This is my mom gave them to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm comfortable with them. And I was, like I said, I was in my room. You know, it was after work. I was unwinding. You know, and I'm like, yeah, look, you know, but I understand it though. I understand it because he made a comment. He said, he asked me a question. First he made a statement, then he asked me a question. The first statement was like, he said, I ain't never seen nobody successful wearing a wife beater. And I was like, oh, you know, you got to think about it. You haven't. Not really. He said, unless you're like a rapper and you shooting a video or something, you know, but other than that, you know, he said, would you, then he asked me, he said, would you wear a wife beater to a restaurant or to Walmart? And you know, I was like, not really, you know. And he said, see, you know, so like you wearing this wife beater, and so I'm up in the air about whether I should, you know, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just comfortable, man. I'm just comfortable, but I think I'll be more mindful of my attire. I don't know. What do you think? What do y'all think?
I think, again, the different situations, but I think it's similar to conversations like that we used to like have with our students when I used to work with the Upperbound programs, because we used to talk to our students about like how to dress, how to manage people, like perceptions and kind of different things like that, especially like when we were staying on campus for the summer program. So you used to tell our students, make sure like you're pulling your pants up, like